What's up, everybody? I'm Dreadful Gooz, and welcome to another dreadful day in the studio with me. Today, we're going to be talking about Dave Mustaine and his new partnership with Gibson. Let's get it. First of all, let's talk about Dave Mustaine. He is an icon, whether you like him or not, whether you love him or you hate him. He is an icon in the metal world, in the metal community. And he's been a very big, important figure in the metal community for the last 25 to 35 years. And my point with saying this is that he didn't just become a star. And obviously Gibson has been around for decades as well. So at any point, had Dave Mustaine, in my opinion, wanted to be endorsed by Gibson, he could have. I'm not buying this whole thing that he's, he mentioned in his video, or the Gibson video, he mentioned that he was a secret collector of Gibson this whole time. That may be true. He may have some Les Pauls, he may have some Gibsons and stuff, but I'm not buying the fact that he was just a huge secret lover of Gibson this whole time. Let's just be honest and say it. Dave Mustaine went to Gibson because Gibson wrote him the biggest check, period. If you believe anything other than that, well, more power to you. Dave Mustaine was with Dean Guitars for a very, very, very long time. And before that, he was with Jackson for quite some time. And actually, before that, I kind of forgot, he was with ESP for a bit. He was with Jackson, ESP, but he was for a very long time with Dean Guitars. Now, what changed? What made him all of a sudden want to leave Dean Guitars and go to Gibson? My speculation is Gibson has been in a world of trouble for quite some time now, whether it be with lawsuits or just a whole, the whole playing authentic thing. They've been in trouble for quite some time and just getting a bunch of bad publicity, bad QC, overpriced guitars, you name it. We can go on and on about Gibson. So to me, it looks like Gibson is just, again, they recently acquired Mesa Boogie. Now they acquired another very big guitar icon as part of their artist roster. It just seems to me like Gibson is trying to cover up their tracks of, having that poor reputation, and they're trying to just say, hey, let's just get a bunch of names. Let's get a bunch of brand names or household names, and let's just bring them in, which is, I guess, good because they're trying to rectify some pretty big BS that they've gotten themselves into in the past few years. But in my opinion, what they're putting out with Dave Mustaine and what Dave Mustaine is, putting out with Gibson, it's just uninspiring and nothing special. For me, it's super uninspiring to see the new models or signature models that they came out with, because the first one that I saw was the Silver V. This guitar literally looks like they just took a Gibson V and put an Explorer headstock on it and copied the exact same layout of one of Dave's first Dean V shapes. Here are some of the other models. Also, let's talk about some of the models that are just rounded V shapes. In my opinion, they just don't look good on Dave Mustaine. Like, Dave Mustaine is known for having like his Jackson King V. Before that, like when he first started his career, he was playing BC Rich. He's been playing pointy shapes almost his whole life. So to see him playing these rounded flying Vs just doesn't seem cool at all. The only Dave Mustaine guitar that I see that they actually put any effort into, maybe there's two of them, is the green flying V, and I guess it's the acoustic or acoustic electric, whatever. But the other Vs, they're just literally is just rehashing the same exact thing that he's done with other brands. Now, I'm well aware that musicians are not making as much money off their music as they did in years past, But someone as big as Dave Mustaine, I'm pretty sure he's not struggling whatsoever. Megadeth is still getting streamed like crazy. They're still selling out shows, or were before COVID happened. And I'm sure once they return to the stage, they'll be selling out arenas and shows. So, you know, it's kind of upsetting that it just comes across as like, hey, you know, cut me a big check, design whatever you want, and I'll just put my name on it. It's kind of what it seems like to me. But again, I guess it is what it is. Now, I guess the more I think about it, you can't really blame Dave. Maybe he just wanted to try something new. Maybe he was just, you know, at that point in his career, or this point in his career, he can basically do whatever he wants. So maybe he figured, you know what? Why not? Why not try something new? Sometimes when you've been playing the same instrument or the same guitars for so long, some people kind of want to just try something new. And like I said, he's at the point in his career, and he's such a big name and such a big star, that he can do that. So maybe that's what it was. Maybe he just, you know, maybe it wasn't the big paycheck. Maybe he just wanted to try something new. Yo, real quick, check up the video link somewhere up here. It's a link to my buddy Luis Torres' video where he gives his thoughts and opinions on the whole Dave Mustaine joining Gibson. Also, I asked two of my very good friends, Justin, who runs the popular Instagram page Sinister Metal Guitars, and I also asked my buddy Kevin Frassard about Dave Mustaine joining Gibson.
Honestly, my opinion on the new Dave Mustaine, Gibson, Kramer, and Epiphone models, even though we haven't seen the Epiphones yet, we've seen the Gibson and Kramers. When I first saw it, before I even saw like any of the caption for the photo and all that, I legitimately thought they were a AliExpress or a DHgate kind of like rip off of like a Gibson, because I'm like looking at them, the inlays it just looks so wrong. And I'm not a Gibson fan by any means, so it's not like I'm a purist or anything, because I don't like Gibson to begin with. But from my first initial viewing, they looked like, you know, knockoffs of you know, pretty much Gibson, and they just look terrible. I mean, I would never buy one ever. They look like cheap knockoffs.
I think they look like shit. And you can use this audio if you'd like, Gooz. Love you, bro.
So what do you guys think? Do you like any of the new Dave Mustaine models? Are you like me, who's just like, it's whatever. It's nothing special. Or are you like, no, Gooz, like, I think these are badass. I love them. You know, they're so cool. There's something new that I haven't seen from Gibson. You know, let me know down in the comment section. As always, thank you so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and follow all my social media links down below. Peace.